Hi, good morning everyone. Myself Santosh Rajendra Gola. Today's date is 4th April 2022 and today's our topic is static and instance variable and static instance method and static instance block in a variable, in which instance variable are declared in a class but outside a method, constructor or any block. And in a static variable, a class variable also known as static variables are declared with the static keywords in a class but outside a method, constructor or a block, in which again instance variable are created when an object is created with the use of the keyword new and destroyed when the object is destroyed. And is in static variables are created when the program starts and destroyed when the program stops. And in instance variable can be accessed directly by calling the variable name inside the class. However, while static methods, when instance given accessibility, they should be called using the fully qualified name by object reference variable name. And in static variables can be accessed by calling with the class and class name variable name, and in which instance variable hold value the must be referenced by more than one method, and constructor or block or essential parts of an object in which present through that the class. And there would only be one copy of each class variable, and which regards how many objects are created from it. And static versus the instance method. In this, instance methods are methods which require an object of a class, its class to be created before it can be called a static methods or a method in a Java, and that can be called without creating an object of a class. And in static method is declared with static keyword, and instance method is not with the static keyword. Third one is, it is static method means which will exist as a single copy of for a class, but instance method exists multiple copies depending on the number of instance created for that. And static methods can be invoked by using a class reference, and instance or non-static methods are invoked by using the object reference. And in static methods can access instance methods, and in static variables directly. Instance methods can access a static variable and static methods directly. And this is the difference between the static block and the static instance block, in which initialization block and the instance block, in which to define a static initialization block we use the keyword static, and in instance it is required to define instance initialization block. And a static initialization block loads as soon as a class loads, and it is not associated with call to the constructor of a class for the object creation. And an instance initialization block is only executed when there is a call constructor by creating an object. And in static block can be accessed static variables and the static methods. And in instance initialization it cannot be accessed the static variables, and there is no automatic call of a superclass constructor from the static initialization. And in this block always makes the automatic call to the superclass, and static block called as a just during entire execution of the program when the class loads. And in instance initialization block can be run many times whenever there is call to the constructor of the class. And it is defined to the initialization of the methods, and there is automatic call to the superclass constructor from initialization block. And instance initialization block always makes an automatic call to the superclass constructor by calling the super keyword before executing any of the other statements. And static blocks, it is called just once during the execution of the Java program. And in instance initialization block, it can be run many times whenever there. It is called a constructor of the class. This is also called a instance initialization block. Thank you.